We're live? Good day everyone, and welcome to Radboud News. We've got an awful story today, so viewer discretion is advised. A man from Florida in the United States admitted to brutally killing his wife and posting a photo of her corpse on Facebook. The killer, the 33-year-old Derek Medina, killed his 27-year-old wife, Jennifer Alfonso, while their daughter was in the other room. In an interview with the police, he stated he killed her out of self-defense. He did this because she threatened him with a knife. He killed her with 8 bullets. After posting a photo of the bloody corpse on Facebook, he wrote, "I'm going to prison or death sentence for killing my wife. Love you guys, miss you guys. Take care, Facebook people, you will see me in the news." He told the police he wrote this because he was forced to kill his wife after years of physical abuse. Prosecutors said Derek Medina would kill his wife if she would leave him, which he planned to do. They also pointed out that the 6 feet, 200-pound guy could have easily overpowered her without using a gun. Derek Medina got a second-degree murder conviction, which means 25 years in prison. The fight, which led to the killing, started with Derek Medina failing to wake up his wife in the morning. This led to him pointing a gun at her in the bathroom. He went back upstairs to put his gun away, but when he came back down, the fight continued. In the kitchen, she pulled a knife on him, so he went back upstairs to get his gun. When he came back down, she was still really angry and still threatening him with a knife, so he shot her. So what do you think? Did he kill her out of self-defense or in cold blood? And why did he post it on Facebook? To answer these questions, we've got some experts who know more about this subject. We have divided this case into 2 different problems. The first problem is, why did he murder her? And the second problem, why did he post it on Facebook? First off, we've got Loes, an expert on abuse.
Thank you, Rick. Well, of course, it is very sad that all of this happened. We can explain this from the frustration-aggression hypothesis. This theory means that frustration always leads to aggression, and aggression always stems from frustration. And we can all imagine, I think, that if you have an abusive partner for years and years, this will at some point lead to frustration. And following this theory, this would also lead to aggression. In this case, that is the murder. But there is a gap in this theory, because frustration doesn't always lead to aggression, and aggression doesn't always stem from frustration.
So tell me, Loes, how can this gap be filled?
Well, the gap can be filled in by something that is called the weapon effect. This is a theory of Berkovich that says that aggression is caused by 2 different things. First of all, the readiness to act aggressively, and external cues that trigger the expression of aggression. So we can all imagine that if the frustration didn't lead to the aggression, the readiness to act aggressively was very, very high. So there was only an outside trigger needed, and in this case the outside trigger was the wife with a weapon, and in this case she had a knife, and that led to the aggression of the man. So this is also shown by another study, the study of Anderson and his colleagues, and that shows that only the mere identification of a weapon already leads to aggressive thoughts. So if only seeing a weapon already leads to aggressive thoughts, we all can imagine what would happen if you are in an abusive situation for a very, very, very long time and you see a weapon. Don't we?
Thank you, Loes. Now we've got Romy, who is going to tell us something about an intervention.
Well, Rick, thank you for letting me give my view on recent events. The problem in this situation is that the suspect had no other options, had no other choice than to kill his wife in order to stop the abuse. That brings a great problem to the light, because we should all ask ourselves the question, what would we do if we were in a similar abusive situation? I, as a woman, would have plenty of options, but what about men? Qualitative studies have shown that men who stay with their abusive wives stay there because they want to protect the children, or they just feel ashamed and embarrassed of the situation. well, society doesn't pay very much attention to the problem as well. So we all do, we all act as if there's no problem. But really, the prevalence of male abuse is shocking.
Almost 13% of men are abused in their intimate relationship. This problem must be taken very seriously and steps should be taken to intervene in these situations. To prevent killings because of a lack of options, I suggest an anonymous telephone line for men only, so men who get abused can call. The operator should have had a training in how to help these men. It would even be an idea to have the operator make a note in the report so that the abused men can go to the police where they already know the history of this problem. This will result in the problem taken much more seriously, and it will help prevent psychological distress, depression, alcoholism, PTSD, fear and self-blame. All kinds of serious problems. Studies show that this men develop after only emotional abuse. Back to you, Rick.
Thank you, Romy. Now we've got Wietse, a social media expert.
Well, thank you, Rick. Shocking in this case is that he posted a picture on Facebook of her body after he murdered her. This can be explained by something called shock value. This means that when you do something that causes a high shock in society, such as filming a decapitation or shooting a classroom full of children. People who commit this kind of crimes of high shock value often are rejected by their peers or by their romantic partners. So in our case, the murderer was rejected by his romantic partner and he probably had some psychological problems. So that's why he posted this picture on Facebook, to shock others. Facebook plays a big role in this. Facebook has at the moment no system to stop pictures from posting, meaning when you post something horrific like this, people have to report it, and then after some time it will be deleted. I think there should be a better system for this. Facebook should come up with a system where they scan every picture before it's really posted. This system can be a program or just real people checking the pictures. Because if we don't get a system like this, who knows, the next thing what will happen is people posting a live video of them committing a terrorist attack. And we don't want that. Back to you, Rick.
So after listening to the experts, did you change your point of view about this subject? And what did you think about the interventions and preventions? This was Radboud News. See you next time. Same channel, same time.